Hi, welcome back to the Grow Lab for Fundraising. In this section, we're going to talk about the actual fundraise and how to build that pipeline. We'll talk about targeting the right investors, setting the meeting mechanics, and negotiating the key terms. When fundraising, it's important to build momentum during your raise. There are many ways of doing that, such as demonstrating positive metrics that are growing really quickly and up and to the right, or say making a key hire or landing a key partnership. When it comes to raising, it's very common to start first with angel investors. Angel investors are typically wealthy individuals that invest in startups to both support the community and to make money. By starting with angel investors, it allows you to target smaller checks before tackling the bigger ones. An angel investor might write a check as small as $10,000 or as large as $1 million, but typically invest around $25,000. Reaching angels is as easy as asking your friends and family, searching on Google for local angel groups in your town, and what you'll find is that many will host open events that allow you to demo your product and maybe even get some free drinks and food too. After your angel network has been tapped out, the next step is seed investors. Angels are typically incentivized to get their deals funded by famous and well-known VCs, so take advantage of that resource by asking them for those introductions. You may also want to ask your angels to listen to your pitch as you update it and get their guidance. Get as much feedback as you can, but don't start believing everything. Pick and choose the feedback that you like and that makes sense for you and your company. To build out that investor pipeline, open up Google Sheets and write down the name of every possible investor that you know or can name. This serves as your starting point. For each investor, research how they're connected to each other and how you can reach that investor through your network. You'll find that some investors typically invest alongside each other and will provide introductions to each other as well. I would often research Crunchbase and funding announcements to build out this mental map. And also, if you know of any entrepreneurs in your network, give them a call, offer to buy them lunch, and learn from them. Ask them for advice on your fundraise. Oftentimes you'll find that they will be more than happy to help if they like you or your business enough. Very few venture capitalists will actually take a meeting with somebody that isn't directly connected to them through their network. It's important to ask for warm introductions and build those connections. There's a tool called the double opt-in intro, which I've observed to help startups a great deal. Let's say that you just met your friend Ben for coffee. He says that he knows a great investor, Tracy, and that you should go talk to her. To get connected with Tracy, you'd email Ben and ask to get connected with Tracy. In that email, include a blurb about your company and your deck. That way, Ben can just forward that email to Tracy and ask for her confirmation. If she says yes, Ben can provide that introduction. This gives you an opportunity to give your pitch in your own words while also simplifying the process for your friend Ben. I encourage every founder to use this technique to maximize the effectiveness of those emails. And this cannot just be used for fundraising, but really any time an introduction is sought. At this stage, you'll want to get a verbal yes or a handshake from your investors. And if you don't already have your terms decided, it would be appropriate at this stage to use the Y Combinator safe note to set a baseline of terms. This allows you to accept money today without having to price your company until a venture investor gets involved. At this stage, one should expect to pitch 25 to 50 angel investors before maybe getting 5 to 10 to say yes. Some will find it easier, some will find it harder. It just depends on a lot of factors and a lot of luck. Just remember that if your raise is hard today, it might be easier tomorrow, but the inverse could be true as well. So always prepare for a hard raise. Now, let's say that you've successfully raised a round from angel investors and friends and family. If you're lucky, they've all written you $25,000 checks and there's 40 of them, so you've just raised $1 million. But let's say you need to raise more like $3 million or $5 million to start your company properly. In that case, you will need to pitch venture investors. Venture capitalists manage larger pools of money and can typically write larger checks. Now, let's say you meet two VCs that can each write $1 million checks while you've just finished your round. The process to pitch venture investors isn't too different from what you've done so far, especially now that you've gotten the hang of the first steps. With a friends and family round together, there's enough momentum to have that conversation with seed stage VCs. So like before, create that target list in Google Sheets, start asking for more introductions, and keep following that path until you've pitched somewhere between 40 to 100 venture capitalists. From my own experience, I had 27 no's before I got my first yes. That first yes was a term sheet from a venture investor, but it was very painful to hear 26 no's in a row and that much rejection. Keep your head up and perhaps find solace in knowing that the next time you raise, it gets even harder. And it's really great CEO training because it teaches persistence and perseverance at the beginning of your company. One other thing to consider is scheduling. I find it best to schedule as many of these meetings as you can, as quickly as you can. You never know when the public markets will snap shut and make it that much harder to raise capital from venture capitalists. There's also typically two fundraising seasons, one that runs from February until Memorial Day, and then it opens back up again September through Thanksgiving. It's not to say that venture fundings don't happen outside of these periods, it's just a bit harder. In our next section, we'll talk about the term sheet and how to negotiate it. Talk to you soon.